We were 3 days past our last sip when my brother said he could taste water in his dreams. In a future where oceans are names in history books, the sun is no longer something children draw with yellow crayons. It's a merciless weight. Tarek and his younger brother, Sami, live in the drylands on the outskirts of a gleaming coastal city. Every morning they join a line that snakes around the desalination plant. The wealthy enter through a separate gate, their polished shoes splashing in puddles as pumps pull seawater up through pipes. The poor, like Tarek's family, leave with recycled gray water that smells faintly of metal. When their mother dies of heat stroke waiting in that line, the brothers decide they won't die waiting. They sell her few remaining possessions, her shawl, her wedding ring, to buy a map rumored to lead to a hidden oasis. Sami, 15 and still hopeful, tucks the rolled parchment into his shirt. "Maybe it's an actual lake," he whispers. Tarek, 21 and hardened, merely nods. As they set off with a group of villagers, Tarek feels both like a traitor for leaving others behind and like a savior for daring to search. The drylands are a graveyard of a world that used to be wet. They pass ghost towns where salt crystals have grown on the walls, abandoned oil rigs half buried in dunes, and once, a whale skeleton bleached white like bone china. At night, around tiny fires made from animal dung, the travelers tell stories to keep spirits up. There's Layla, a mother of twin girls, who recounts how her grandmother described rain. "It sounded like applause," she says wistfully. There's Mahmoud, whose father died building Desal towers. He jokes darkly that maybe the towers will topple when they're gone. Sami, always the storyteller, speaks of things he's never seen. Forests, snow, rivers. "Do you think the river missed the fishes when it dried?" he asks Tarek under a blanket of stars. "If a river can miss anything, it misses being alive," Tarek answers, surprised by his own softness. On the 4th day, a dust storm hits. The sky turns brown as the storm engulfs them. They tie cloth over their faces, but the grit finds its way in. They lose 2 goats and a man named Farid, who disappears in the haze. After the storm, they find Farid's body half buried. Sami insists they bury him properly, digging with numb hands until they hit a layer of clay. "We came to find water, and we found a body instead," a traveler mutters. Tarek places a stone on Farid's head and feels the weight of each person he cannot save. By the 7th day, their tongues crack. Sami can no longer speak. He opens his mouth to say something and instead licks his own lips. The map shows they are close. Suddenly, green smudges appear on the horizon, palm trees swaying against a shimmering backdrop. At first, Tarek thinks it's a mirage, but as they get closer, the smell of moisture hits them like a slap. They break into a run. Sami trips, and Tarek pulls him up. When they reach the oasis, they dive face first into the water. It's cold, sweet, and almost syrupy on their tongues. Tears mix with the liquid. Around the lake are citrus trees laden with fruit. Layla laughs for the first time since her babies died 3 years ago. As the sun sets, small lights flicker on in the tree trunks. A voice crackles from hidden speakers. "Congratulations, travelers. You have completed Phase 1. Men in matching uniforms step out from behind palm fronds carrying clipboards. They applaud politely. "Who are you?" Tarek demands. The leader introduces himself as an administrator for Water Corp. "This oasis," he explains, "is an experimental training ground. They built it to test who is resilient enough to manage the new water distribution centers planned for the interior. We recorded your behaviors, how you rationed, who you left behind, who you buried," he says. "Your empathy levels, your leadership potential. Those who scored highest will be offered positions." The travelers stare in disbelief. Layla's knuckles whiten. Sami's cracked mouth drops open. Tarek feels rage climb up his throat like bile. Our mother died because she couldn't get enough water. He spits. You have water here, and you didn't share it? The administrator shrugs. The data gathered here will eventually help millions. That night, Tarek and Sami sit by the lake. Some travelers argue that taking the job is the only way to get water for their families. Others vow to burn the place down. Sami whispers, voice hoarse, "Do you think the river missed the fishes when it dried?" Tarek squeezes his brother's hand. He knows what he must do. While the guards sleep, Tarek and a few others pry open the maintenance shed and find solar controls. Tarek used to be an electrician. He reroutes the power supply so the oasis's coordinates broadcast on every frequency the old radios can catch. Emergency! Water discovered! The automated message blares across the drylands. Within hours, hundreds of people are trudging toward the oasis. Families with infants, elders on makeshift sleds, entire village caravans. The administrators wake to chaos. They threaten to call security from the city, but the crowd keeps coming. They cannot shoot everyone. Amid the commotion, a gun goes off. Sami clutches his side. Blood seeps through his shirt. Tarek catches him as he collapses. "Did the river miss the fishes?" Sami rasps. "The river is you," Tarek sobs. Sami dies with water still on his lips. In the weeks that follow, the oasis dries. It turns out it wasn't a natural spring, but a shallow reservoir pumped by Watercorp. The company pulls the plug, hoping to teach them a lesson. Instead, Tarek leads thousands to occupy the desalination plant. They block deliveries, stage sit-ins, and broadcast their demands. International media picks up the story. Watercorp is forced to negotiate distribution reforms. Tarek never stops missing his brother. Every time he steps up to a microphone, he touches the cracked edge of Sami's map in his pocket. Water is a human right, not a commodity. When resources are hoarded by a few, collective action can break systems of greed. Survival is not only about quenching your own thirst, it's about ensuring your community drinks with you.